G'day guys and welcome to another YouTube lesson. Today we're going to be taking a look at the first syllabus dot point of business planning, and that's the last topic in the Year 11 course. So we're looking at small to medium enterprises. You may have seen the term SMEs before. Small means 19 or less workers within a business. Medium means 20 workers to 199 workers, and enterprise means any type of business or company. So small to medium enterprises are just small to medium businesses, but you'll see SMEs written about a lot. We'll be looking at a definition of an SME. So these are the ways if you're asked what is an SME, you can define it using these terms. We look at the role, the job of an SME. What's it there to do apart from provide money and income, profits for its owners? It does a lot of other things there too. It's a lot of other roles. And one of these roles is the economic contribution of an SME. And we'll look at what type of contribution small to medium enterprises make to the Australian economy at large. So definition, the first dot point. What's an SME? Small to medium businesses can be defined as micro businesses having less than 5 employees. Now this is about, guys, in terms of whether you're small to medium. It's not owners, it's workers. In theory, you could have a sole trader that actually has a large business. A sole trader could have a large business if they've got 200 or more employees. It's very unlikely, if almost impossible. All right, but we're not talking about legal structure here. So we're talking about the employees that work, probably full-time in general, for a business. So small to medium businesses, together, they'll have anywhere between 1 employee and up to 199. That's small and medium. But there is a little subsection of small, which is micro, as I said, and it has less than 5 employees, or 5 or less. Now, businesses that have between 5 and 19 are called small. To be brutally honest, keep it simple. Small businesses, 1 to 99 workers. 1 to 99, 1 to 19. 1 to 19, I'll say it again, 1 to 19 workers are small businesses. Whereas medium businesses have between 20, so obviously one more than the 19, 20 up to and including 199 employees. They're now a medium size Australian business. Other small businesses include sole traders and partnerships. Okay, they can have less than 5 workers. It's irrelevant, as I was saying, whether you are a partnership or whether you're a sole trader. That's legal structure. We're talking here about the number of workers. All right, most figures quoted are generally estimates. It's hard to get exact figures on this, but they range from a minimum of 1.5 million up to a maximum of 2.1 million small businesses in Australia. So at present, we've got somewhere between that figure, 1.5 mil up to 2.1 million small businesses in Australia. That's pretty significant. The ABS, Australian Bureau of Statistics, they estimate there's approximately 78,000 medium businesses operating in the Australian economy at the moment. So those figures again, about say 2 million small businesses in Australia, roughly. And why roughly? Well, because it's constantly changing. 75% of small and medium enterprises fail in the first 5 years. So that's why. So about 2 million small businesses and about 78,000 medium businesses. They're all good stats for the definition. What's the job? What's the role of SMEs in Australia? All right, Australian small to medium enterprises, one of their jobs is employment. They employ about 73% of all people working in the private sector. Now, 51% is in small business and 22% of employment opportunities are people working in medium-sized businesses. So you've got your private sector, which is just the normal carpenters, lawyers, things that aren't part of the government. That's the private sector. GBEs, they are part of the public sector. So we're talking solely about the private sector, but geez, 3/4 of it, pretty much, 73%, work in small business or medium business. So a big driver of employment. One key role is to provide employment for us Aussies. They have created 80% of Australia's employment gains in the past 10 years. Well, that's pretty impressive. They produce SMEs, 50% of all products made in Australia in any 1 year. So half of what's made is made by small to medium enterprises. They generate an increasing amount of our total exports. So we've got products we make, we sell overseas, it brings money into Australia. They are making more and more each year, selling exports overseas. They account for 20% of all money spent on research and development. To be fair, a small business, to a lesser degree a medium business, they don't have a lot of spare cash to research and develop new things. Large companies tend to have that cashola, but still 1 in 5, 20% money spent on R&D in Australia is done by an SME. So it's still pretty impressive. They provide a wide range of products that large businesses and companies use in Australia too. They earn more profits and pay more taxes than large businesses do. So they do contribute more to our taxation system, and that money can be used to be spent on government expenditure, pay me to help you guys out, and to pay for roads, rail, hospitals, defence, every other important initiative we have in Australia. Almost done. The last dot point we have here is economic contribution. So how are they helping specifically our Aussie economy? Well, nearly 58% of our GDP is gross domestic product, total domestic Australia, what we make or produce. So 58% of our GDP is produced or made by small businesses. This accounts for almost $500 billion, or over $500 billion. It's $560 billion is produced and made by SMEs in Australia. SMEs employed about 7.5 million people, which represents 73%, as we've mentioned, total private sector employment. That's a big economic contribution. 51% of people are employed in small business and 22% in medium business. As we've mentioned also as well, they provide a lot of research and development, 20%, and innovation in our Australian economy. The number of SME Australian exports are growing faster than larger businesses. SMEs in agriculture, manufacturing, and professional services are also all experiencing rapid export growth. And this is really good. We want to export more, sell more overseas than what we're importing into Australia. However, this growth is occurring from a low base. There's only 4% of Australian SMEs export. So we leave most of our exporting up to our larger businesses. But every little bit is important and counts. Exporting goods and services contribute to our balance of payments, which is basically exports compared to imports and how much money is going out of our country and coming into our country. And historically, that's been a bit of a problem. We tend to get a lot of imports come in and don't sell as many exports going out. That means we'll be in deficit and owe money to other countries. So the growth of these small to medium enterprises in exports is a very good thing. It's something that's nice to see happening, and it's a good contributor to the Australian economy. Right, guys, thank you for listening, and see you next time.